Louisiana Free Patriot here once again. Been doing a lot of research on mandated vaccines, and I keep seeing they keep referring back to two cases. One from 1905, Jacobson versus Massachusetts, 197 US 11, 1905. And Zooch versus King, 260 US 174, 1922. The first one, Jacobson versus Massachusetts, was over smallpox, in which Massachusetts set up a fine for anybody that wasn't getting vaccinated. It was $5, which today is equivalent to like $155 and some change. A fine for anybody that's not vaccinated. Okay. Then they tried for the 14th Amendment. They went to court. They found that it did not deprive life, liberty, or property, which is clearly defined in the 14th Amendment. So by paying a fine, it's not taking anything from you without just cause. Understandable. Zooch versus King, 1922. It's about vaccine mandates in schools, public and private. Well, education is not covered really in the Constitution. Education is not life, it is not liberty, and it is not property. Education will help you live a better life. Education can give you more liberty through your knowledge, and education through work, because of your education, can allow you to gain more property. But education itself not directly covered in the Constitution, from what I can gather, or as far as being protected by the 14th Amendment, or life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Not covered. But with this vaccine mandate by Flo, No Show, No Brains, Wyden, you have threatened to take away my means of providing for my family. You are taking away my life by means of, not particularly me, individual, because I'm very strong-willed and strong-hearted, but a vast majority, you're threatening their life because of depression, which could put many people into a suicidal fit. So you're threatening their life by threatening their ability to provide for their family and themselves. My liberty to choose what is going into my body against my strong religious beliefs. Through investigation, through countless hours of research, I have found that all three vaccines are grown from aborted fetal material. The Johnson & Johnson, in its completed form, still has aborted fetal material in it. Now the Pfizer and the Moderna, as they're grown, they completely destroy the cells from the fetal material. So there is none left. So there is none in the vaccine per se, but they are grown from aborted fetal material. I'm sorry. That goes against everything I am. I will not put stuff of that nature in my body. cannot and will not. Before they even came out with the vaccines, when they first just started talking about them, making them and putting a rush to get them made, the Lord spoke to me and told me, do not take these vaccines. He said, didn't say just one vaccine. It said, in my heart, these vaccines, multiple, any of them. He put it in my heart that it would harm me, not just physically, but spiritually as well. So under no circumstances will I be getting these vaccines. I have my lawyer drawing up my paperwork now for religious exemption. Will I think my company will accept that? By law, they're supposed to. By federal law, they're supposed to, because you've got to give an exemption for medical exemption and religious exemptions by federal law. Louisiana law also holds the same. So, if they do not accept this, then we will follow with a lawsuit with my employer, which we will push up. I will push it all the way to Supreme Court. I hope it goes that far, because I want to stand before the justices and from a high school graduate, speak to them and show them what our education levels are through research and diligent time and study to know what is there, what is not there. To pull in the paperwork and documentation from Israel and Europe that shows 80+%, because I don't remember the exact number, of the vaccinated are dying, while only in the 20% range of the unvaccinated are dying. But the unvaccinated are dying from COVID. The vaccinated are dying from mysterious causes. Sudden heart failures, liver, liver shutdowns, kidney shutdowns, blood clots, aneurysms, just systematic shutdowns of the vital organs. And they're not reporting it as vaccine reactions. There's documentation, thanks to Project Veritas, of it happening here in the US, but they are not documenting it. They do not want the public to know. I've seen the reports. It's happening. All you've got to do is go out there and look. But I'm new to this. And by the time I copy something and I've had it and I get to making my videos, it's already scrubbed from the sources I'm getting it from. They are erasing this stuff as fast as they can find it. And I don't know nothing about the dark web. I don't play on that stuff. I have no idea. But I'm sure if some of you wanted to find it, you could find that information quite readily. And I'll have my lawyer looking that stuff up as well, and have him actually printing these materials out as soon as he finds them, storing them and finding them, so we can put it out to the courts. Legitimate legal paperwork. For me, this is the proper method for me to fight this battle in the most legal means possible to uphold the Constitution. Also, on another note on that stat, we need to push our legislature to push for a convention of states. I believe the number is 13. You get a minimum of 13 states together and they can call a convention of states. And together they can pull the federal power and return it back to the states per the 10th Amendment, where it's supposed to be. We do these things, fight it legally, fight it in the legislation with the Convention of States, or we go full on rebellion. For me personally, rebellion is the absolute last resort. But when it comes to it, if and when it comes to it, and I pray it doesn't, I am willing, ready, and able to be there. Make no mistake, just because I want to do things as peacefully and legally as possible does not mean that I am not willing and able to fight. Kind of think of it kind of like The Rock in The Rundown. He doesn't like guns. I don't like the physical violence. But he is a badass with a gun in that movie. And badass with violence. I'm a peaceful man, not a harmless man. And as said before in previous videos, the difference between a peaceful man and a harmless man is a harmless man, you can come and slap him in his face, he will do nothing. You can kick him to the ground and he will do nothing. He cannot do anything to defend himself or anyone else because he is harmless. A peaceful man is peaceful by choice, but is capable of great violence. I'm a very peaceful man, and I want to do things right. So if it does have to come to that level, if it does have to come to where blood has to be shed, I want to know that I did everything in my heart possible to avoid that. Everything that I could, per the Constitution, per the guidelines of our founding fathers. Now, I'm going to do everything I can the right way. But they're fixing to put that boot down on my neck. I'm going to lose my job. I know I am. I'm going to have to find others. If I can. And that's where the violation of the 14th Amendment comes in. Because you remove a person's ability to provide for themselves and their family. You remove their ability to have life, liberty, and property. Because you remove their ability to make a living. Which is a direct violation of the 14th Amendment. And if this goes all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court does not uphold it, does not uphold my objections, does not feel that this is a violation of the 14th Amendment, and they side with the federal government, then our only, absolute only choice at that moment is revolution. Because the Supreme Court is the ones that actually hold the true power in this nation. They hold the keys. Because they can do this, they can do that. You bring them to court, the Supreme Court says, no, you can't do that. And that's their job. To protect the citizens from the overreach of government. To protect the states from the overreach of the federal government. If they cannot do that, then the system is corrupt completely. 100%. And thus, when a government becomes tyrannical and no longer for the people, it is our duty to remove such government per the Constitution. Well, that's my words for the evening. God bless every one of you. God bless these United States of America, and have mercy on anyone's soul who stands before the American patriots. Because when we come together and when we step up to the plate, we gonna make it happen. And there's no doubt in my mind we will prevail. And we will do it to the best of our ability, whichever course they make us take. I'm ready for them all. Good night, everybody. God bless.